Thank you. Be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And it is an honor and blessing to be with you here today, very early this morning. Hopefully everybody's had their coffee. My name is Justin Ludley, principal of Greer High School. Last year at this time, we had just completed one of the most unusual springs in education to date. And today we find ourselves at the culmination of maybe the most unusual and in many ways challenging school years in our history. For that reason, today feels extra special. And we are so proud of the young men and women sitting before us today. The success of our students and staff this year has not happened in isolation. Thank you to our superintendent, Dr. Burt Royster, for your strong leadership and direction during this unprecedented period in education. Thank you to the Greenville County School Board, Deputy Superintendent Scott Turner, Assistant Superintendent for School Leadership over high schools, Mr. Scott Reimer, and all of the GCS district administration and support staff for your relentless efforts in planning, communicating, and leading during this most unique school year. You all kept the well-being and success of every student and staff member at the forefront of all decisions, and we are very thankful for that. Thank you to our teachers. Thank you to our counselors. Thank you to our administrators, and thank you to our support staff at Greer High School. I am so appreciative of how you all have stepped up to the plate this year and have worked so well together as a team. Your love and care for our students and community has shined through every day. Without further ado, we are ready to kick off the 2021 Greer High School graduation ceremony. Lillian Hannon will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Army National Guard, the Pledge of Allegiance, and then our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Good morning. Walking into the doors of Greer High School for the first time as a student, I had no idea what the next 4 years would hold. If someone had said a pandemic, I probably would have laughed, but I think we all know how that one worked out. So many obstacles have been thrown at us, and yet here we are at graduation, apart but together. Freshman year, we navigated the halls of the Hive, won the homecoming float contest, thanks parents, and if you're like me, tripped up the stairs on class change. It seemed so big and intimidating, but that quickly changed as we progressed through the year and began to feel at home within the walls of Greer High. When thinking about sophomore year, all I think about is chemistry. Chemistry with Mr. Youngblood. I learned a lot that semester. I learned the elements of the periodic table. I learned that you don't get credit if you spell them wrong. But most importantly, I learned the impact that good study habits and hard work can have. That class taught me what it meant to be a student and prepared me for other challenging courses down the road. We all have so many of our own lessons and memories that we will carry with us for years to come. Junior year was academically challenging to say the least. Between AP and IB classes, I think we were all on homework overload, and if that wasn't hard enough, we threw a pandemic in the mix. It was our first e-learning experience. We may have finished our junior year in quarantine, but there were so many good moments that came from even that dark time. Staying after class on Google Meets to talk to our classmates, or having FaceTime meals since we weren't together for lunch. Those small interactions are what held us together through what seemed like never-ending seclusion. Finally, senior year arrived, but not in the way we expected. It was supposed to be a nostalgic year filled with stories that we would one day tell our kids and grandkids, but they will now be stories of plexiglass and Google Meets. No swaying to the alma mater with our arms around our classmates, no student section at sporting events, no pep rallies to attend or floats to build. I could stand up here and dwell on all the memories we missed out on, and I do that quite often, but in retrospect, I think we gained so much more from the challenges of this year. We learned the importance of checking on one another, the value of being present in a classroom, the joy of quality time with friends and family, but most importantly, the huge role that Greer High has played in shaping us into the people we are today. The first thing I always tell people about Greer High School is that we are a community-based school, but as I look back on these past 4 years, I realize that it was so much more than that. In a year where most of our time was spent at home, I think we all realized that Greer High became our second home somewhere along the way. This year has been difficult for everyone, but the hardest part has been the physical separation from each other. Despite it all, here we are today, apart but together. My perspective changes from being utterly heartbroken that we as a class have not been together to being overwhelmingly grateful that we have a day like today where we can all come together one last time. The bond that the class of 2021 has created is one that will be deeply cherished. As we say goodbye to high school, may we never say goodbye to the friendships, memories, and lessons we have learned within the walls of Greer High. So, to the class of 2021, as we embark on our next chapters of our lives and all go our separate ways, may we forever remain apart but together.
Welcome to the Bon Secours Wellness Arena. The Bon Secours Wellness Arena is a non-smoking facility. There is a designated smoking area located outside section 116 and 117. In the case of an emergency, please walk to the nearest exit. Exits are located on the main concourse level. If an accident occurs, first aid is available in section 105. Please feel free to use cameras, both video and still, during this event, but no bullhorns or any other noise-making devices are permitted. Thank you.
As recognized by the South Carolina Department of Education, a pathway completer is a student who has completed a 3 or 4 unit program of study in one of our career and technical education career clusters. These students have demonstrated commitment and perseverance to complete their pathway under very difficult circumstances over the last 2 years. This accomplishment is recognized by a green, yellow pathway completer cord. This year at Greer High School, we had 60 senior students earn pathway completers. At this time, would all of the Greer High School Career and Technology Education pathway completers please stand and be recognized? All of our 60 completers. Career and Technology Ed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. And thank you to all of you for being with us today on this most wonderful occasion of celebrating the graduation of the Greer High School class of 2021. I want to extend a special thank you to our distinguished guests that we have with us today from the Greenville County School District Office and the Greenville County School Board. With us today is Superintendent Dr. Burke Royster, Assistant Superintendent for School Leadership over high schools, Mr. Scott Reimer, Assistant Superintendent for School Leadership over middle schools, Dr. David McDonald, as well as a multitude of other members of the GCS district leadership and support staff that are assisting with this ceremony. We are honored to have School Board Chairperson Ms. Linda Leventis Wells and school board members Mr. Pat Suddeth, Miss Glenda Morrison-Fair, Miss Michelle Goodwin-Caldwell, Mr. Chuck Sailors, and Miss Carolyn Stiles. Thank you for being with us here today and for what you do every day for Greenville County Schools. I would also like to take a moment to celebrate Greer High School staff members who will be retiring at the end of this school year. All of these staff members have committed their time, energy, and heart to our students, community, for many years, and we are very appreciative and honored for their service. Miss Debbie Edwards is retiring after a career of service in nursing. She has spent the last 13 and a half of those years as a school nurse in Greenville County at Greer Middle School and Greer High School. Miss Karen Cleary is also retiring after a career of service in nursing, which included being a school nurse for Greer High School for the last 8 years. Miss Harriet Kicker is retiring after 38 years in education as a middle school English teacher and secondary media specialist. Miss Kicker has been a media specialist at Greer High School for the last 11 years. Finally, Miss Juanita Smith is retiring from a career in education of 44 years. 42 of those years have been spent at Greer Middle School, the district office as an adept evaluator, and Greer High School. She has even had the pleasure of teaching several of our current staff members. Thank you to all of you for a lifetime of service to students and communities and a commitment to excellence in education. Please join me in celebrating our retirees. Okay, thank you. And now to the class of 2021. What a year this has been. Pre-pandemic, did you ever think that you may be sitting in a cafeteria in a classroom desk? Did you ever think that your teacher would be asking you to speak louder so they could hear you through the plexiglass? Did you ever think you would be sitting on green dots at football games? Me neither. But we have stepped up to the unprecedented challenges of the pandemic and have come through stronger, more confident, more capable, and more skilled. I have seen some very impressive accomplishments in this past year. At the end of 2020, Greer High School improved 14 points in the percentage of students passing AP tests to receive college credit. Many of you were part of that growth despite being at home all spring last year. Many students receive college credits this year while taking dual credit classes virtually. Many of you have earned industry-recognized certifications or work-based learning experiences during your senior year and are ready to either go to work in a great field or continue your training. The voices of Greer High School earned superior marks at this year's SCMA Choral Performance Assessment for the first time in 8 years. Our theater program restarted this year for the first time in many years and performed 2 fantastic shows in their inaugural year. The Virtual Enterprise team earned their 6th straight state championship and competed in the national championship in a completely virtual format. Our football and softball teams enjoyed region championships, and our boys track and field 4x100 relay team won the state championship. These are only a few of the highlights of this class and certainly do not encapsulate all of your accomplishments. Some of you may not have college credits or work-based certifications yet, but every one of you has fought for the diploma you are about to receive today. What will this diploma mean? It means that you have successfully completed the requirements set forth by the state of South Carolina to receive a high school diploma. It means that you will be a graduate and that no one can ever take that away from you. It means that you have completed this chapter of education in your life and you are ready to take the next step in your journey. But with this next step, you are stronger than you thought you were. You are braver than you thought you were. You are smarter and more skilled than you thought you were. And you are cared for and loved more than you know. As an 18-year-old, do you know everything and have it all figured out? No, not even close. But that's okay. You don't have to know everything. All that you have to be is ready for the next step, and you are ready. Students, believe in yourself always. Be positive. Be kind. Think about others over yourself and take life one day at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment, I am going to ask you to really let it loose in celebrating our students with me. Because later in the ceremony, when we present diplomas, we will ask you to hold your applause until the end so that every graduate can be properly recognized and honored equally. So, class of 2021, please stand. Okay, parents, family members, loved ones, with everything you have, join me in celebrating the class of 2021. You know, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was, I would give it a solid, maybe a 7 out of 10. But remember, guys, this group right here, they've been in a pandemic for a year and a half. They've had like 5 attendance plans. They persevered. Like, you got to let loose. Hey, class of 2021, let me hear you. Hoo, 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 hoo. Let's hear you. All right, you guys can sit. Good deal. Great job. Hey, nobody needs coffee now. We're ready to go. Thank you. At this time, I am honored to recognize Greer High School students who have committed to serve in the armed forces after graduation. You will notice they're wearing a red, white, and blue cord. Students, please stand and remain standing if you will be serving in the armed forces after graduation. Okay, keep standing, keep standing, keep standing. I will now ask that all others in the audience that are currently serving or are veterans in the armed forces to also stand. Please join me in giving a huge round of applause in honor of their service. All right, awesome, thank you. You guys can sit down. Our next speaker is Ms. Hannah Smith, our Salutatorian.
Good morning, faculty, staff, parents, friends, and fellow graduates. I would like to start off by thanking you all for providing me with the opportunity to reflect on the past 4 years and look forward to the future. Together, we have found a way to honor some of Greer High School's most tried and true traditions, while also leaving our own legacy. I'll always remember the feeling of excitement we shared at the freshman year homecoming pep rally after Mr. Ludley announced that we had won 2 out of the 3 competitions. Our hard work paid off, and the class of 2021's determination didn't end. From that moment on, we set the standard for success. Another one of my favorite high school experiences was watching the 2018-2019 football state championship. I spent the night before the big game making posters with some of my closest friends. We wanted everyone to know just how proud we were to be cheering for the Yellow Jackets. It was incredible to see the entire town travel to Columbia to watch our team play. In fact, our community is what I love most about Greer High School. We've had some amazing teachers and mentors over the years. Miss Grizzle, from your ridiculous anecdotes to your friends' references that no one understands, you have never failed to make me laugh. Mr. Flounders, thank you for being a model teacher while also dealing with my sarcastic comments. And lastly, Michael Hux, I am grateful for your weekly visits to school. I appreciate knowing how much you care for me and each of your students. These people have helped me realize that a positive attitude leads to a strong character. The skills we have fostered at Greer High School will help us to move forward and become the best possible versions of ourselves. Coach Santos taught the girls' soccer team to strive for perfection. We worked tirelessly both on and off the field, and with this, we improved in our ability because we strived for excellence. I hope that we can take this idea with us as we move on from this place. Over the past 4 years, this group has matured significantly. Of wisdom, imagination, and responsibility. We must apply what we have learned and sculpt it into our future as we continue to grow. We have worked so hard to get to this moment, and we deserve to reap our accomplishments. Now is the time for us to spread our wings and embark on new paths as high school graduates. I love and appreciate all the people that have prepared me for this next journey onto Clemson University. We must remember that graduation is not an end, but a new beginning. So I'd like to thank everyone here with all of my heart for helping me reach graduation day.
Good morning. I'm Jesselyn Vinkmulder, and I'm valedictorian of Greer High School's class of 2021. I found out I was first in our class our freshman year. I was excited, proud. I was sitting in Miss Jackson's office when I decided I would do anything to keep my rank. For the past 3 years, I have taken every AP and IB class I could squeeze into my schedule. I studied for hours and sacrificed going out with friends. I did math homework and French worksheets at 3 in the morning. I gave up on extracurriculars I loved and passed on electives that I really wanted to take. So here I am, valedictorian. I thought about what I might say if I ever had the opportunity to make this speech. This has been almost 4 years of build-up and work and pressure, all leading up to this moment for a 4 to 7 minute speech. 4 years of work for 4 to 7 minutes. I have to admit, it started to dawn on me earlier this year how I might have been wasting my time. Why didn't I try to do virtual enterprise or yearbook staff? When I started applying to colleges, I realized how many other valedictorians there are, with the same clubs, the same GPA, the same stellar letters of recommendation. I spent so long making valedictorian my goal that it became everything that I was. If I wasn't first in the class, then who was I? I told everyone for a while this was going to be an I regret being valedictorian speech. Maybe it sounds like that so far, but I've realized that I couldn't be more grateful to be where I am. Instead of focusing on what I could have done, I should be looking at what I have done. I met some of the most amazing teachers in my time at Greer. Ms. Hash, who has supported me through everything. She is the reason I try my best at everything that I do. And then there's Ms. Pruitt, who has been there for me at my worst. She has always seen past the grades, has always loved me for being me, and she makes me feel proud of myself even when I feel like a failure. I couldn't be more grateful to have these two amazing women as role models. In addition, I made some really close friends that I wouldn't trade for the world. I have a sister, Cameron, who has hyped me up probably more than I deserve. I love you. This is your shout out. I thought that being valedictorian was being successful, but it's not. Sure, it's part of it for me, but success from high school is more than just grades. It's friends and experiences and classes and teachers that you actually learned from. It's the drama we overcame and the lessons we learned from each other. Looking back, it's hard to recognize the 14-year-olds who first walked into Greer High School. I have learned that a title is not success, but being with the people you love and making your life mean something, that is success. In a few hours from now, there's a good chance none of you will remember what I've said. That's all right, we're all just anxious to graduate, but I hope you take this next part with you. Some of us will graduate and go straight into the workforce. Some of us are going into the military or tech school. Some of us are going to a 4-year college or university. Maybe some of us are taking a gap year or have no idea where we're going. All of that is perfectly fine. All of us can be successful. Because success is different for everyone. It's not all money and material things. Whatever your path is, own it. You can do it, and it doesn't have to be traditional. And if you have a plan, you're not a failure if it doesn't work out. Maybe some of us will end up dropping out of college. Maybe some of us will get laid off. Life hits us all in different ways, and it's what you do with those setbacks that makes us who we are. My mom was 19 years old when she had me. She was a single mother by the time I was 3. I didn't know this until recently, but we lived on $19,000 until I was almost in middle school. But I never suspected anything might be wrong. We still watched movies together, went to the beach, and got takeout on Fridays. My whole life, I never knew the difference between my friends' households and my own. I figured everyone's moms stayed up late at night with a calculator, working on budgets and coloring in the scuffed up parts of our shoes with black Sharpie. I love my mom because she's the hardest worker I know. She dropped out of college to raise me and my sister. She took any job she could. She went back to school while working full-time. She earned promotions and changed careers. Now we're doing better than we ever have. She's always told me not to follow her example, that I have so much more potential than she did. Mama, I'm standing up here to tell you, for the first time, that you're wrong. You're the most successful person I know because you're resilient and strong, and you never give up. You have been there for me at every soccer game, every theater production, every awards day. I don't know how you have time for it all, but I want you to know that making you proud means the world to me. and I also want you to know that I couldn't be more proud of you. I'm going to wrap up by encouraging everyone to overcome their setbacks. Our plans don't always work out, but sometimes we end up better for it. It's the people and experiences in our lives that make us successful, not titles, not degrees, not even money. I have one more thing. In our junior year, Anna Givner dared me to include a specific quote in this graduation speech. I'd like to say I'll always keep my word. It is an inspiring, motivational, and profound quote from a film that's so incredibly crucial to our culture that we might not be the generation we are today without it. This is from Twilight Saga Eclipse. This isn't the time to make hard and fast decisions. This is the time to make mistakes. Take the wrong train and get stuck somewhere. Fall in love a lot. Major in philosophy because there's no way to make a career out of that. Change your mind and change it again because nothing is permanent. That was Jessica Stanley from Twilight, What a Queen. Congratulations, class of 2021. I am so grateful to have spent the last 4 years with you.
Okay. Make sure we got this bit. Okay, we got it. Is that time of the ceremony when we present diplomas to the graduating class of 2021. Driving to school today, I couldn't help but, to the arena today, I couldn't help but reflect on these 13 years. This goal is 13 years in the making for you guys. And when I want to stress 13 years because I went all the way back to kindergarten when the first hurdle I had as a student was whether I could learn how to tie shoes with that rabbit ear deal that they made you learn. Biggest fear I had was having to go home and tell my parents that I was going to be wearing loafers for the rest of my life. You guys have accomplished something that is incredible. It took 13 years to do it, and I stress that because all our loved ones here today with us, I would hope that you'd use this time as we call these names as they walk across the stage to reflect on all the incredible memories you have of your student or students over those 13 years, okay? So let's go ahead and present the diplomas to the graduating class of 2021. Make sure this is right. Jesselyn Sage Vinkmalder. Hannah Reagan Smith. Ellison Kate Brannon. Lillian Marie Hannon. Thomas Gray Stanton. Brandon David Acuna. Francesca Maria Arija. Anna K. Gibner. Kylie Bianca Henderson. Ivy Frances May. Olivia Marie Obert. Christian Joniel Acevedo. Nasim George Ashkar. Diana Michelle Antunes Lemus. Cesaria Aquila Ballinger. In absentia, Diogene Lejean Barker. Blake Scott Beeman. Siona Akiria Biggs. Jenna Constantina Looker Black. Christopher Cade Blackwell. Brandon Blanco Soto. Zakira Monique Booker. Christopher Jeremiah Boston. Eddie James Bradford. Corbin Rudolph Bradley. Brock Allen Bridwell. Nicholas Lee Bruce. Roman William Bruce. And Tavion Omonte Bryant. Courtney Lee Bryant. Andrew Thomas Buchkowski. Delaney Elizabeth Burnett. Jamie Luann Burnett. Gavin Joseph Burnett. Sarah Michelle Cagle. Omar Camacho Baltierra. Devin MacArthur Campbell. Bailey Ayers Campbell. Caleb Jonas Canitez. Victor Cardenas. Kevin Oswaldo Carmona. Denise Carrillo Estrada. Liliana Carrillo Morales. Javier Israel Castillo. Josue Zacharias Castro Padilla. Logan Christian Chansey. Catherine Julissa Chavez Cedillo. Jacob Bryant Sisson. Aaron Nathan Cloninger. Laura May Cloninger. Jaden Spencer Collins. Maria Grace Cook. Diego Corona Gaspar. Stephen Lee Cox. Lindsay Catherine Craig. Alyssa Hope Crawford. Parker LeGrand Crook. In absentia, Sebastian Zane Curley. Jenna Elizabeth Curry. Eric Nathaniel Davis. In absentia, Tajani Naire Davis. Alex DeJesus. Victor DeJesus. Jana Lee Francine DePaul. Carson Miller DeArmond. In absentia, Madison Galadriel Demand. Armando Israel Darris Salas Jr. Benjamin Garrett Dill. Ronald Hudson Dix. Emily Lucinda Dotson McGovern. Natalie Brianna Dominguez. Blake Andrew Dorn. Contessa Ariel Dunlap. John Samuel Durfee. Devani Espinoza Aguilar. Paola Espitia Martinez. Pedro Tomas Vandino III. Haley Diane Fields. Merlin Flores Garcia. In absentia, Evan Davis Fowler. Devin Frank. Bailey Caitlin Frazier. Seth Andrew Fuller. Maria Jose Funes Gallardo. Dylan Christopher Gies. Kiera Amasia Goldman. Pedro Jesus Gonzalez. Daniela Gonzalez Boxgaget. Caleb Brandon Isaiah Gosnell. Caroline Grace Green. Isa Marquise Gregory. Absidy Azariana Gregory. Darius Dre Christopher Griffin. William Layton Hagan. Bethany Nicole Hall. Edward Lambert Hammond. Justin Michael Haney. John Nicholas Hanna. Dominique Aaliyah Harris. Tamaje Xavier Hatch. Janelli Angelis Hernandez. Laura Hernandez Alejo. In absentia, Thomas LeVar Hicks. Noah Khalid Higgins. In absentia, Dora Jean Hill. Shaylin Alice Hill. Zachary Wayne Hilton. Jacoby Trenton Marche Holly. Tierra Faith Jackson. Lazaro Alexander Jimenez Duran. Olivia Marie Johnson. Brittany Yasmin Johnson. Damaje Dylon Johnson. Thomas Levi Johnson. Brylan Bernard Jones. Krishani Detrice Jones. Dawson Noah Lanham. Man, my fingers. Tabitha Grace Littlefield. Brandon Lloyd. Amber Jean Luqui. Joe Alex Lynch. Lauren Michaela Michelik. Austin Michael Majera. Vanessa Maldonado Hernandez. Brittany Mariquin. Faith Mary Marsland. Kaylee Jolynn Martin. Javante Jabez Martin. Donovan Martinez Montezuma. Amaya Ashley Matthews. Kirsten Desiree McCullum. Jantasia Cariana Renee McDowell. Angelina Marie McIntyre. Angie Mendez Garay. Juan Andres Mendoza Mora. Valeria Mendoza Mora. Jose Mendoza Salazar. Ashley Michelle Mesquite Montezuma. Sean Colin Miles. Michael Scott Miller. Shania Trume Quasia Miller Casey. Jamaria Ayona Mills. Angie Cristal Miranda. Olivia Marguerite Mose. In absentia, Alexis May Moang. Gabriela Montavo. Gabriel Scott Moody. Leonelzi Abigail Moreno Cardona. Nicole Alexandra Moda Caño. Cirillo Antonio Moyer. Thomas Brock Myers. Joanna Lisbeth Narciso Reyes. Brian Jabit Navarro Diaz. Sarah Morgan Neely. Nash Baxter Nicholson. Ashlyn Ann Norris. Kelly Alyn Ortiz Castillo. Luis Alberto Pablo Antonio. Noah Joseph Pacula. Drake Elliott Paris. Alexa Renee Pass. Hunter James Pearson. Brady Alexander Perez. Corey Nicholas Perron. Heather Nicole Phillips. Megan Renee Lee Phillips. Christopher Pineda Bautista. Jonathan Walker Pitts. Connor Douglas Prophet. In absentia, Quest Xavier Ramon Beebe. Gerardo Rangel Tovar. Brandon Reyes Aguilar. Nathan Brent Reimer. Caridad Rosanna Ricardo Avila. Ileana Rios. Gaspar Eduardo Rivera Gomez. Michael Bailey Robbins. Moises Alexander Rodriguez Sanchez. Alyssa Michelle Rogie. Dylan Hugh Russell. Solchel Stephanie Sanchez Flores. Leslie Daniela Sanchez Mejia. Cynthia Sarmiento. Andrew James Scudder. Hope Isabella Shepard. Brooke Christina Sicola. Amaya Marie Simmons. Justin Edward Sly. Niana Camille Snipes. Wilson Stephen Solarzano. Edwin Sorto. In absentia, Gracelyn Elizabeth Stroud. Lily Campbell Summy. Ashley Raven Taylor. Cassidy Tayana Thomas Talley. Gavin Elijah Thorfinson. Brooklyn Elena Threet. In absentia, Bianca Naomi Torres. Vanessa Trejo Quintero. Melissa Trejo Villa. David Lee Trevino. Caitlin Jeannie Tucker. Zachary David Tucker. Travis Ashton James Tumlin. Jaden Siani Valentine. Jaya Soleil Valentine. Jeremy Joshua Vasquez Melendez. Noah McCall Vaughn. Christian Joel Vega. Dulce Maria Villavicencio. Christian Eric Volkmar. Markeelan Leandre Ware. Jaden Rashawn Ware. Caleb Andrew Waters. In absentia, Emily Lorene Watkins. Rebecca Kelly Weeks. Christopher Jaden White. Deshanique Jordan Mackenzie Whiteside. Taylor Solange Williams. At this time, we would like to pause for a moment of silence to remember Landon Ray, who would have graduated as a member of the class of 2021. Thank you. Andrew Landon Ray. Joshua Alexander Wright. William Alexander Wright. Mark Terry Wiest. Nicholas David Dale Yonkin. Naya Ariana Desiree Young. Okay. Announce already. Okay, folks, sorry about the inconvenience. Leonelzi Abigail Moreno Cardona. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the last for the class of 2021 as far as presenting the diplomas. Congratulations.
The Dr. and Mrs. Frederick Gibson James Award has been given for over 70 years to the Greer High graduate who has obtained the highest academic average during his or her 4 years of high school. It differs from other awards in that it includes the final grading period of the senior year. It is accompanied by a $2,500 education scholarship from the James Agency. It is a pleasure to present this year's award to Jesselyn Vinkmulder.
Good morning, students, parents, and to the esteemed faculty and administration of Greer High School. Before I start, I would like to personally congratulate the class of 2021. My name is Gray Stanton, and for those of you that don't know me, we went to high school together, so nice to meet you. This year, I had the honor of serving as your student body president. Right now, I know I'm the only thing standing between you and those exit doors, so I'll keep this relatively short. That's a joke, by the way, I'm just kidding. On behalf of Greer High School, class of 2021, I would like to thank our families for bringing us into the world, raising us, supporting us, and helping us achieve this significant milestone in our lives. I would like to thank the faculty and staff of each elementary school, middle school, and finally Greer High School for the education, influence, and guidance they have shown us along the way. We have had the opportunity to form a solid foundation here at Greer High School. About 2 weeks ago, I received an email from Mr. Ludley inviting me to come to a graduation meeting. At that meeting, I was informed that I would be delivering the closing remarks at today's ceremony. I was very excited initially, but then I started to wonder what in the world I was going to talk about. So I went home, did a Google search on high school graduation speeches in hopes of getting some ideas. But unfortunately, I only came up with mile-long speeches showing wisdom for the future and quotes that no one understands. I quickly realized that I am not an expert on the future, and I am not qualified to send you away filled with the answer to life's happiness and successes. So I decided to reach out to people who may be able to send us off feeling ready to take on the world. First, I asked my parents what I should share with my classmates at graduation. They quickly replied, "Tell them to show up. No matter what your next steps are, always show up for them every day." I then asked my Uncle Brian, and he said, "Tell them to get a job." Then I asked one of my previous teachers, Miss McConnell, and her advice was to never take your family and friends for granted. This past year taught us that nothing is permanent and to call your mom often. I then asked Miss Hash, and her advice was to always communicate clearly and honestly with everyone, especially yourself. Clear and honest communication requires thought, reflection, and courage. Entering into a new world brings new challenges and opportunities. Clear and honest communication provides a firm foundation on which young adults can stand, especially when facing challenges. Finally, I asked my good friend John Walker. And well, now that I think about it, I'm probably not going to share what he had to say. We arrived at Greer High School 4 years ago as small fish in a big pond. We were nervous and a little intimidated by the environment, but we made it through. We quickly established ourselves as the best class to walk the halls when we dominated homecoming competitions freshman year. We have had many great memories here at Greer High School, but we have also experienced challenges and disappointments. We suffered losses, and we learned to adapt and reinvent the high school experience, even in the face of a pandemic. We now leave Greer High School in the face of the world, a world that is wonderful in many ways, but a world that also needs a lot of help. We can be change agents for good and accomplish anything we set our minds to. Set goals, strive to achieve them, and then set some more. Strive to be loyal, hardworking, and give back to the community that raised us. No one owes us anything. Our families and our teachers have done so much for us. But now the ball is in our court. The foundation is laid, and it is on solid ground. It is our job, nonetheless, to build our future upon it. So it is now my great honor to bid you farewell and good luck as you turn the page and start the next chapter of your lives. For the past 4 years, Mr. Ludley made a point each day to remind us that every day is a great day to be a Yellow Jacket. May you always remember where you came from and always keep his words in your hearts. It has been a privilege knowing you and calling many of you my friends. So I say again, best of luck and congratulations to the class of 2021.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here with you today to celebrate in this incredible accomplishment. While we all have said, and we've heard it multiple times today, the last year and a half has been a challenge, it has also been an opportunity. You all have shown us the power of education, the value of hard work, and the resiliency of our most precious asset, the youth of our country, and more specifically of Greenville County. We all hope that this is the first of many milestone accomplishments for you as you continue on your journey of life. To the many educators who have worked with each of you here today and all over, you pay them the highest of compliments by earning your high school diploma. We're all very proud of you. Your accomplishments today and in the future will continue to pay compliment to all of the hard work of all educators. To the parents, grandparents, and other family members, I share with you the great joy you must feel as your student accomplishes their high school graduation. We thank you for your dedication to your students' education, for the encouragement you've given them, and for the support you have provided over these years. None of this is possible without the support of our families. To the administrative team of Greer High School, I thank you for your hard work and dedication to our students. To the faculty and staff, thank you for your hard work, your contributions and commitments you've made to the success of these students. I think everyone here recognizes the tremendous job that all of our educators do each day to support learning at Greer High School. Thank you to our Greenville County School District Board of Trustees who are here with us today. And finally, to you, the graduating seniors, congratulations. We wish you well as you complete this portion of the journey of life and look with anticipation toward the great things you will do in the next chapter as you continue to work hard and challenge yourselves to reach new heights. So with that, will the graduating class of 2021 please stand? You have completed the requirements for a high school diploma as prescribed by the South Carolina Department of Education. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the superintendent and the Board of Trustees of the School District of Greenville County, I now declare you 2021 graduates of Greer High School. Please move your tassels from right to left, and congratulations to you all.